Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about promising startup businesses, primarily technology businesses, promising startup businesses in the West that get taken over, gobbled up by the big multinationals. Now, it's a real trend that's been around for, I guess, 20 plus years now, and it effectively removes a business that would grow into something formidable, or probably would grow into something formidable, and it takes them out of the economy, as it were, gets gobbled up by a big multinational, and then gets sort of subsumed into the multinational apparatus. Now, they've already got all the infrastructure in place, all the distribution channels, the supply chain, the manufacturing, the sales force, and they've everything's technical support. They've got everything already in place, so that they can take the products from this promising startup and just put it as another product in the range. So it just disappears into the economy of scale of that organization. Maybe at the end of the day, there's no jobs created out of it, but also it means the multinational company becomes lazy on things like innovation and invention and just being better at what they do. They can just take these, effectively they're indirectly or obliquely outsourcing their IP to smart young, not always straight white males, but nearly always straight white males. So this is something that is drastically changed the new businesses and new growing businesses that will create well-paying jobs in the West. This is part of the reason, a big part too, why we aren't seeing a growth in well-paying jobs, is because the big multinational firms, working hand in hand with big finance, are gobbling these small, very promising firms up. Now, years ago, that promising firm would grow into a bigger firm and maybe employ hundreds, if not thousands of people, would have new technology. People would be learning sort of new skills. More entrepreneurs and innovators would then come from that, and it would be a very positive thing all around for the economy. Now, Western economies have pretty much lost all that now, and the price we're paying is substantial, and it's a very negative sort of price overall. But just one organisation that I'd sort of interacted with, and they had I thought was a pretty good product. They were going places as far as I could tell, and they had maybe, I don't know, 20 to 25 staff personnel working there, and apart from a receptionist, they were all straight white boys and very smart, very bright, very dedicated, happily would work 100 hours a week because they wanted to be successful. They wanted to do good things. They wanted to invent the future and that sort of stuff. And I've been involved in and worked with a lot of people like that over my time, and still do. So I find that impressive, and it's certainly something that I think in a technical and financial innovation sense, I find those sort of situations quite exciting and filled with energy and vibrance and so on. And of the vibrance of very capable people who are employed on merit. Now, as soon as you go to a purely on merit situation, then you're going to get, in the West at least, it's going to be straight white boys. You'll get the odd one or two, maybe not, but if it's merit alone, it's straight white boys, and there are some exceptions, and let's be clear, there are exceptions of that, but pretty much all your staff are going to come from that capability pool. Now, these guys were bought out by a multinational, and the deal was brokered by one of the big financial firms that make a big fat fee out of this. And the two guys who sort of really conceived it all, they were given life-changing amounts of money. Look, here's $10 million a piece. Here's cash. Here it is. Now, that's a huge siren song, because when you're building a business, a lot of the profit that you're making, a lot of the money comes into the door, has to be invested back into the business in hiring more people, undertaking all sorts of tasks that are part and parcel of growing a business. retaining money to manage the cash flow, all these sorts of things. So even though there's a lot of money moving around, the owners or the inventors that started the company, they may not be putting a whole lot of money in their pockets. In fact, it's certainly in those earlier stages, again, as the money's being reinvested in the business, they're probably not drawing much more than an ordinary wage. And the idea of having $10 million is probably quite some way off. But so really these big financial firms who are really just backdoor sort of talent scouts in terms of spotting good product and then bringing it to the big multinationals. They can put, again, $10 million cash on the table and say, there you go. And that's pretty seductive and persuasive for most people. It's a life-changing amount of money for most people. If you're just a really smart middle-class guy, $10 million is a lot of money. So they go, okay, I'll take it. And then they're offered, various sort of obscure bonuses and payouts in the future, shares in the company that's taking them over. If they don't want to, they'll never need to work again, with the all the goodies that are being laid on. But again, that business then is sort of subsumed. Now, usually they spend another year or two keeping the business an independent unit before they just wash it and roll it into the big multinational sort of structure. But boy, did they move quickly. I mean, days after the multinational bought it out, the staff that was like, say, 24 white boys is now 2 white boys. And then the talk about race and gender quotas. Fuck. But they've employed some of the. He's one who's been made director of product. I mean, for fuck's sake. And she's 26, 27. She's worked for some NGOs as a fetch and carry flunky. Then she did some work for some government quango that was designing websites for black lesbian businesses, in some bullshit initiative, again, race and gender sort of stuff. And then if you sort of held a competition to who can hire the most unqualified person, they'd end up with her. They'd end up with her. But so that's now the employee lineup's got, as I say, two males. Any males that are gay and black lesbians everywhere you look, and activists this and so on, so that. It's an outrage what's happened. But they've just replaced all the capable white guys with totally incapable, unqualified minority hires and race and gender quotas, and it was kind of sad to see because then you go in there now and the energy and the vibrance and the can do and the let's do better and we can do better than this. That attitude is completely gone. It's like you've walked into some government bureaucracy that out in the rural sticks somewhere. It's almost like that, and there's no energy in the place. Everybody's there now on the basis of some quota or some bullshit politically correct arrangements, and no one's there. No one is there. I mean, those 2 guys still, but no one is there on merit, and they're all just hacks now, and acting out the role as if it was a government department, and the energy and the vibrancy and the can-do is there, totally gone. Nothing there at all like that, and that's very sad to see. But this is in micro form. This is what's happening to the most energetic, productive, innovative sectors of the Western economy. This is how, or one of the ways that it's being crushed, and I think it's rather sad. You've been a task today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.